He was over so strong for such a long time in WWE as Rusev, and they never really realized his full potential in that company. So I'd like to see him come back as Rusev. You know, a lot of people think without Lana, if he comes back, it's not going to be the same thing. But I think they could bring him back even stronger depending upon what storyline they bring him in.
We brought up Cedric Alexander possibly going to AEW, and AEW is bigger than they've ever been before, and that means that some people have to get releases. Some people are being departures from the company, and they recently had a couple of big major departures from the promotion. On February 10th, it was revealed by PW Insider First that Malakai Black was removed from their roster page, and then it was confirmed by Fightful Select that he is gone from the company. He can immediately go somewhere else, and the same is also being removed from the roster page later on in that day was Miro. Fightful has reported that Miro is gone from the company and negotiated his release from the promotion.
You think you know all the wrestling stories? There's more you haven't heard yet. Join us on Backstage Pass.
What do you think about those major releases for All Elite Wrestling and the possibility of them being in WWE? And which one do you see kind of making the biggest impact upon signing with WWE if it is this year that they get all three?
Well, we don't know at this point what's going to happen and why they really hadn't used Miro. I mean, he had some health issues from what I understand, injuries. But he was over so strong for such a long time in WWE as Rusev, and they never really realized his full potential in that company. So I'd like to see him come back as Rusev. You know, a lot of people think without Lana, if he comes back, it's not going to be the same thing. But I think they could bring him back even stronger depending upon what storyline they bring him in. Yeah, Malakai Black, I think, could be a monster figure in WWE, of course. I really think he'd look great there. What they would do with him immediately, I don't know. But to me, the strongest possibility to make a real mark in there is Miro.
That's fair.
Bring Rusev back. Yeah.
Miro probably had the biggest run of the two with Malakai Black, who also had a previous run in WWE. His run in like 2015, that undefeated streak and feud with John Cena kind of really put a spotlight on him. And he was once again got over in a big way with the whole Rusev Day. And he had a good run with AEW initially after kind of weird introduction with him with the gamer character. They found the God's favorite champion when he won the TNT championship, the Redeemer character with the promos and vignettes that they were doing. It was great stuff and put a spotlight on him and thought that he could kind of reach the heights that he was supposed to in WWE. And then ever since he lost the TNT championship, it's just been the weirdest run after that with him in AEW. Not very used consistently, and now he requested his release in 2024 and then gets his release in 2025. So I think that he will go back to WWE. He should have a good run, but I think that the person that probably has the strongest run is Malakai Black.
Yeah, I could see that between he and Miro, to be honest with you. I could see either one of them.
Considering who's in,
he looks like a monster. Now. Yeah, he's got that. But keep in mind, SP3, that this is the road to WrestleMania. So the possibility of them introducing some new talent during this time up until WrestleMania, I don't know if we're going to see that.
You can see something, I would say, like at a WrestleMania or Raw after WrestleMania return for a Malakai Black or a Rusev.
They could even bring, Miro hasn't worked in a long time in terms of wrestling. They could bring Miro back as a very strong character in NXT as well. And Malakai Black. There's no reason why.
I think that Malakai Black is the safest of the three. I think that he's going to go back to the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was trying to say before, I think that because of who's in charge now, he had a great run in NXT with Triple H in charge. So he's kind of considered a Triple H guy. And Paul Heyman has a lot of influence in WWE. And he was a Paul Heyman guy during his initial run on the main roster. He got his biggest push with Paul Heyman in charge of Monday Night Raw back in 2019. I expect him to come back to a relatively top position, upper mid-card main event scene.
Yeah, I think more so though, and I agree with you with him going to the main roster, but I think the fans will recognize Miro more than any of the other.
That's right.
In terms of I really do, because they all wondered what happened to Rusev, and then he went over to AEW and they barely did anything with him.